All right, everybody, we are live and welcome. And I'm super excited to be here and share this with you today. So as you're jumping on, let me know you're here. Take a couple seconds, shout out, and let me know that you're here. Give us your name. Let us know. Click that little thing. It opens it up in this whole StreamYard thing for all of us to let us know. So Jay, welcome. I'm going to look down real quick and say who's here. John, welcome. Here's a great opportunity. Take the next couple minutes. I know we promoted this. If you're watching it inside the Average Sucks community, you're going to have to either welcome your friends to this community, tell them to join, or our team down below, Team Burnoff, is also going to post how to watch this on the Michael Burnoff fan page. So if you're watching it in leadership or you're watching it Average Sucks, you definitely want to share this with people you care about. A very, very necessary, empowering topic today about really what's going on the inside, the conversations that people are not having that are really, really huge. So as you're jumping on, say your name, let us know you're here, stick with this. A lot of times things pop up on my screen, I click it, and then I click it off. Like, why am I here? Here's why you're here, because for some reason, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, YouTube, somebody thought you needed to hear this message today, or we've known each other for a while. You just got done with call to action. If you did, congratulations. We've worked with each other for a while. So welcome. As you're jumping on, announce yourself by putting in a little box. Let me know you're here. And this is going to be a very, very important, deep conversation today about psychologically what's going on inside worldwide to people that I'm going to tell you 7 months ago wasn't happening. That's happening now. That is so important to understand for yourself, for your children, for your family, for your community. And I've had a first on account after working with thousands of people. Over 10,000 people have registered for call to action the last 4 or 5 months. We've worked with thousands of them. And I've got an inside scoop. I literally could take a spreadsheet and say, got it. This is what's going on. Here's what needs to work with. And here's what needs to happen. So I'm going to tell you, there's about 5 things happening right now. And you've got to figure out where you're living or other people are, because we need to help each other make a big difference. So welcome, everybody. David, welcome. Everybody, welcome. Angela, welcome. Jeannie, welcome. Take a couple seconds. We get started here in like 33 seconds. And if you're watching this afterwards, you definitely want to put the @ sign and somebody you care about in the box below. And if you are watching this in the Average Sucks community, congratulations. I'm glad you're part of that community. If you're not, check out our Average Sucks community for people that want to live an above average life. It's a private group. You got to get invited by somebody, and I'd love to have you there. We can put the link down below. We'd love to invite you if it's something for you. We'd love to have you be there. Also, you can watch this on Michael Burnoff, our fan page as well. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And I'll tell you, if you haven't watched one of my Facebook Lives or taken any of our classes, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Michael Burnoff, and really my entire life is dedicated to showing people how to get what they want, make their life work the way they want it to, and get the things they want in their life. So if you're watching this, odds are you're interested in understanding yourself, you're interested in understanding other people, but most importantly, right now in the world with where you're at, I got to ask this question. How are you doing? Because the old answer I said for years, oh, I'm good, I'm great, is one of the things that I'm going to talk about here today, because a lot of people are playing the part of doing really, really well, but some stuff going on inside that most people don't realize. And part of what I'm going to share with you is a tremendous gift that's happening right now. And I'm going to tell you, this gift is enormous that's occurring when all of you can understand it. But the problem with the gift is a lot of people didn't ask for it. And people say, Michael, I love surprises. And I say, that's true, but we don't love a surprise letter from the IRS. You don't love a surprise that you didn't ask for. We love surprises that we actually wanted. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take a couple of seconds right now. This is one of the most important videos that I've ever produced. I'm going to ask you to hit the share button and share this on your wall right now. If you've known me for a day to a year, share this on your wall, or anything longer than that. Yeah, hit the like button, wake people up. Say, Michael, I want to learn this, the heart, the like. Hit the button now. It wakes people up in Facebook land, promotes this on people's walls, because people need to hear this message. So I'm going to expect at least 20 to 30 shares like right now. click the share button, share it. If you're in the Average Sucks community watching this, my team, Team Burnoff, is going to post how to watch this on the fan page. They're going to show you the link. You can cut and paste that and share that with other people. This is not to promote Michael Burnoff. This is to promote an understanding that should have been delivered years ago to people, and definitely at the beginning of this whole pandemic political situation that all of us are dealing with here today. So I'm going to get into this right now, and I'm going to set the rules very, very clear. Stay the duration of what I'm going to share with you because it's necessary. Number two, if anything jumps out at you, like got it, you like it, you love it, you understand it, give it a like, give it a love. You get angry, you can get angry at something if you want. It's not at me, it's something that's going on. So really get involved. The other thing is, if you feel the need that somebody else needs to hear this, share in two ways. Click the share button, or number two, my recommendation for you, which is very, very easy, is grab the thing from my fan page and share it with other people. So welcome everybody. And it is no unique thought to know that the world is very, 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 very different today. And if you don't know my background, my backstory, what I do for the last 17 years, I've been helping people all over the world understand themselves, go inside, know what's going on, understand themselves super well so they can make differences and do different things in their life to start making their life work better. If you've been impacted by our programs, you can give me a heart or a love that you've done that. I'd love to know that. I'd love other people to know. You've taken call to action. You've worked with us. That's fantastic. The difference now is that every single person that is watching this is dealing with their life is different than what they asked for. I can't tell you one person in the world that said, I can't wait to get sent home. I can't wait to be at home extra. I can't wait to limit my life. I can't wait to play different. I can't wait to get worried. I can't wait to can't avoid the news because it's freaking everywhere. And I'm not even a news person. It's in my Facebook feed. It's on Instagram. It comes up at schools. It comes up at camps, whatever it is, wherever I'm going, it's everywhere. And what's fascinating about this and why this is so paramount for everybody to understand in a very, very big way right now is we are being forced into a situation that most people don't realize. And when you think about being forced, the thing you're thinking is we're forced to be worried. We're forced to have fear. The force that I'm telling you is the same thing that I've been doing for years at our personal development events. We are getting people to take a look. That's all I've been doing for years. And what happens is in a controlled environment, when you get people to take a look at what's going on, the decisions they make, how they live their life, a lot of times they come out of that going, God, I don't want to do that. I'd love to do this. Here's how things could be different in a controlled environment that you asked for. The challenge is up until about 6 months ago, 2 to 3% of the population were open to the idea of reading a book, learning about themselves, saying I'm not where I want to be. I want to create a change. Here's what happened for the majority of the world, at least in North America, that I understand, and the majority of the people out there. Around March 1st, the whole world got asked to go and get involved with I don't want to say personal development, a personal understanding and awareness exercise of themselves that they did not ask for. Now, what's fascinating about this, some people are tolerating it great. They're coming out of this going, this is fantastic. I wanted to have a few minutes for myself. What can I do? But just like the old biblical statement says, the absent mind is the devil's playground. When you have less going on, you've got more to think about. And the thoughts we have for most people are challenging ones. So one of the things that I recognized is every human being that you're dealing with is dealing with one of 5 things, a multitude of these 5 things, and they're happening everywhere in the world. Now, I want you to think about this. People are home right now, or people are going to work right now and being forced to evaluate their current life. Now, the challenge is when people are forced to evaluate their current life, a few things happen. People say to themselves, holy crap, I messed up. I'm not where I want to be. This didn't work. Businesses go under. People have challenges. All of this was March. Now we're months later and people say, do I have what it takes to make this? What can I do? And there's a series of reactions that are having amongst people. And I want to bring to the awareness what's going on, because this whole idea of like, just take care of yourself and everything will be okay works to a point. Then we've got to figure out, how do we help the people we care about? How do we help the people in this world that are making things happen? And what can we do that's going to allow you and I to really make the biggest difference? So when this first thing occurred, what I'm going to tell you is something very, very interesting. Is the natural tendency when something you don't expect to happen is we have this denial phase that we all go through. And part of that is avoid. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people right now that you lose your job, you're on unemployment, your business is not where you want it to be. There's a large percentage of the population right now that's falling into the avoid technique. That is like, how do I avoid thinking about this and actually doing something about my problem? See, when you were busy, and when people were busy going to their daily lives, watching their shows on TV, going to their kids' sports event, run here, run there, run there, run there, run there, you can avoid your responsibility of needing to grow as a human being. And then we fit in the world as an average person and you get by. Well, what's fascinating is my book, Average Sucks, came out in the whole middle of this whole thing. People are starting to realize, wait a second, being average, I'm going to lose in this world. And you start not getting what it is you want very quickly. So I took a note and I wrote it down and I recognized that a lot of people are playing the avoid game. They're avoiding looking at what really needs to happen. They're saying, I'm going to wait for things to change. Wait, November will change things. And they're realizing it's the same situation we've all been in, but it's obvious now. It's obvious how you feel about your health. It's obvious how you feel about your emotions. It's obvious what's going on. And it's creating fear, hysteria, nervosa, all kinds of stuff for people in this world, whether you admit it or not, and the majority of people avoid it. And a lot of people, that's their technique. They avoid it with Netflix. They avoid it with videos. They avoid it with stuff. They keep themselves busy and they want to wish it away. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you. I don't care what we're dealing with. Anytime you're forced to have to evaluate your current life and you're left alone with your own thoughts, you're going to have to realize that the way you've been living up till now is maybe not the life that you've wanted. And I'm also going to tell you that is the first step to growth, is getting to the point that you say to yourself, I'm not where I want to be. Never in history have more people been faced with that exact question. The number one question that creates growth for people is, are you where you want to be? And is your current situation the exact one you want? And that's happening for everybody 24/7. But I'm going to tell you, 90% of the people, probably not you, are avoiding what's going on. The problem with avoiding is we're filling our heads with everything else. And what's crazy is once we're done filling, you go to bed and you still realize you didn't do your life the way you wanted to do it. So I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people that are avoiding reality right now. I'm not saying we need to wake them up and we've got to shake them and everybody's got to change, but I will tell you that it's time to recognize that we need to, as people, get out of the avoidance phase. And if you're sitting there, it's time to really grow. And I'm also going to tell you the other thing that's occurring, and the media isn't doing us any favors in this, is the panic phase. And what the panic is all about is people are panicking right now in their lives over what's going on. What if this person gets elected? What if that person gets elected? What about this? What about that? What about this mask? What about that? And like this panic of fear that goes on around us, it creates a major, major issue for ourselves. So we've really got to ask ourselves a question. How do you really, really want to live? So like in life, energy attracts energy. It isn't odd. You've had this experience before. Every one of you have had this. Give me a thumbs up. You've had this. Give me a heart if you've had this. You've thought of a person and they've called. You've thought of a person and they've emailed. You've thought of something and it showed up. And you could say, oh, that's Facebook listening to me and they put it in my feed. No, prior to Facebook, you've thought of people and they rang your old school phone. It's happened to us before. So we attract what it is we are. So one of the things going on the inside of people is we got an empty thing where we're like, hey, I'm not where I want to be. I got less stuff going on. What do I fill it with? And the fret and the worry and the nervousness is filling. And what's amazing is once you start applying that nervous, that frustration, that worry, that confusion, and you engage another person to have that conversation with you, I've done it too. What happens is you're stirring up two people. And as we both stir up, we build rapport with each other. We build a connection. You and I build a connection. And when we build a connection with each other, we start doubting. And we start doubting our existence. We start doubting what we do. And you slow yourself down from getting what you want. Now, I'm going to tell you, everyone in the world should say, wait a second, I'm not where I want to be. Where do I want to go? What do I need to do? But that's not the way the brain works. And if I were to introduce you to the brain very quickly, your brain is obsessed with everything that could go wrong. And the reason why is it wants to be the parent that knows everything that could go wrong, because if it does, it wants to tell you in advance. So when you feed it the negative, you watch the news, you fret, you worry, you panic, you get nervous, you give your brain full-time job to think about those things and to keep you safe. But what it's keeping you safe from is not safe from the bad thing. It's keeping you away from the life that you truly, truly, truly desire. So why I'm throwing this at you guys right now, and I really want you to listen. If you're watching and you know someone you need to share this with, share this post, because I'm telling you, we're living in a world right now where there's 5 stages people are dealing with, and they don't go in order. They're at different times, different people. It's your go-to dealing with method. Now, what's funny is at our events back in the day when we'd have live events 5 months ago, well, now we do events and we do call to action. I love this, from home. And if you haven't done it yet, I highly encourage you to attend call to action. If you've taken it, you can post down below how great it was. If you haven't taken it yet, calltoactiontime.com. I'm giving away a 5-day program, absolutely free for any of you that want to enroll. If you're serious about it, take it. You can also use nextleveltime.com/future 2020, explains why we're giving it away and what we have going on. Now, the reason I'm telling you this right now is at a live event, I would notice that back in the day, I'd have a person in a room, and when they were faced with a difficult conversation, what do you want? What would you like to be different? What's not where you want it to be in your life? I would watch them literally in front of me look to avoid the question. They'd scatter for their phone, figure what they can do right there in front of me in the room. They'd think about it. They'd worry. They'd deflect. They'd talk with their neighbor. People are doing this on a grand scale. In a controlled environment with a guy like me that knows how to create transformation, we get them through it. But you at your home, by yourself, or someone you love, they don't know how to handle this. They're not supported by a group of people, like at an event, like at Call to Action or Core Strength or other events. They're not supported like they'd be at a church if something comes up, or a temple when they have a breakdown or something happens. So they look for the next best thing. How do I avoid this feeling I'm having and stock it all away? Now I'm going to give you understanding number 1 of the unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind hides things on us. And the reason it hides it so you don't have to deal with it, because it may be uncomfortable, it may be nerve-wracking, it may be something that you're scared of. And then it brings to the front things that need to get dealt with. The reason it brings it to the front is it needs to get dealt with. So the reason it keeps on bothering you and thinking about it over and over again is to do that exact thing. So your brain is obsessing with this on a regular basis. So what I'm going to tell you is panic is a natural reaction of people. One of the reasons we panic and fret and look for all this negative stuff that we can attract to is we want to get on the bandwagon. If you're not feeling good and you're uncomfortable, you jump on the bandwagon of what's going on. And if you don't think this is happening, this is how the news gets the ratings. This is how people have those conversations. Why people bitch and moan and complain on a Facebook feed and put something negative out there. Now, why I'm saying this to you is this is people's way of looking at things. And I'm also going to tell you that at our live events for years, there'd be another drug that people would take. And I'd say it was the most powerful drug that people can take, bigger than narcotics and of an avoidance technique in our lives. And it's a little something called hiding. And there's a lot of people that are hiding away in their life right now. And you might know people hiding from what's going on, hiding from a solution, hiding from people. And the reason it's a big drug of choice, people say hiding, is because I'll be at an event and I'll say, hey, how many of you want more? And they go in the back and they cower and they worry and they hope I don't call on them. It's okay in that room because they're with people. But when you're hiding and you're alone and you're away from people, whether it's your children while playing video games too much or not Zooming enough with their friends or getting out, what happens is when people hide, they're avoiding themselves and they're avoiding people that can actually help them make their lives better. So this is the stuff that's going on inside human beings right now that we really care about. It's like a forced personal development seminar without an outcome, without an ending, and everybody just knows they're not where they want to be. And the Band-Aid got pulled off. Look, sucker, you don't have enough money. Look, sucker, you may not have a job next month. Look, sucker, as the Band-Aid gets pulled off. You know what? You're home with your family. You thought you had great relationships with them. You thought you were good at homeschooling. We don't know what we're going to do next year. Good luck. So the hiding thing makes sense, because if you can hide in a corner and be alone with your thoughts, it's a good thing. But the problem is the thoughts in most people's heads, they're not the ones that people are really looking for. They're the thoughts that are the uncomfortable ones. They're the nervous ones. They're the scary ones. So you may be saying, like Michael, why are you covering this right now? It's kind of a negative thing. It's not negative. It's the truth. This is what happens for people. They avoid, they panic, they hide. This is what people do. And the other thing that scares the heck out of me right now is something else that's happening, and especially for youth right now. This is not directed at any particular group, but this is directed as a culture where we screwed up as people. See, for years I've said, and I want you to hear this very clearly what I'm going to say right now. I'd be at events and I'd say, hey, can anybody name a leader? And they'd name people like a real legitimate leader that stands up for people. And I'd get the JFKs, the Martin Luther Kings, the Gandhis. And I'm like, no, one that's born in the last 20 years. Couldn't get one. People give me the Oprahs and the people like that. I said, no. You can't compare Gandhi and Oprah. Cannot. Don't do it again. And the reason I'm saying that is they don't go together. I'm thinking like, why are there not leaders out there? And then I realized all great leaders get developed when there's challenges, when there's tragedy, when there's issues in the world. We have an entire generation of people that have been lacking something massive in their life. And it's not all people, but it's a large group. And if you have teens, young adults, young people, I don't know many people going, man, it's exciting to graduate from college right now, to not leave my house and not get a job and not be around people and not have happy hour and not have the things I want. Yay, this is great. And there's nobody really saying that right now in the world. One of the biggest things that people are doing right now is, and it's a term that I came up with 30 minutes ago, is they're playing the part of purpose hunters. They're being sheep. They're looking for a purpose that may not even be theirs. And what's fascinating is they want to be part of something, part of the good, part of the bad, part of the angry, part of what's going on. And the reason they're becoming purpose hunters is they have had very little purpose in their lives. As parents, as communities, as business leaders, as entrepreneurs, as people at work, we've got to find a way to offer people empowering purposes in their lives so they don't look for things that help another person with possibly an agenda that isn't something they wanted to be part of. I'm going to tell you that our youth is at stake right now in a lot of ways because their biggest purpose was get on Instagram. Their biggest purpose was, how do I become a YouTube star? YouTube star? That's your purpose? I'm going to tell you, you want to show your pictures of yourself and be online? I'm not here to knock it, but I'm going to tell you, a YouTube star, that's your purpose for people to look at your pictures? Here's the deal. We live in a world right now where legitimate purpose, being here for why we're here as a human being, to evolve the culture, to evolve what it means to be human, to transform this planet into a better place than it currently is, not just socially, but to do that is a big piece of the puzzle. So there's people right now that are purpose hunting and they're jumping on whatever they can. Part of it could be a bandwagon. How do I push a conspiracy farther down the road? How do I join this group? And what's funny is they're not thinking for themselves. I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest feelings a human being can get is to take the time allotted to them right now and to recognize and realize that inside of you is an opportunity. There's never been a better time in the world to realize less is going on. You have more time to think and to really figure out who you are and what you want in this world. And if we can help a few people get that, we've got a chance to wake people up right now as humans. If you're watching this right now, part of the way awaken people up is give it a like, give it a heart, give it a share, give it something. And I'm also going to say to you, what are you going to do with your time? What do you have going on? Our book launched Average Sucks right in the middle of this whole pandemic. Amazon had to say, do you mind holding back a couple of weeks? Because we've got to get medical supplies to people. And I'm like, okay, I got it. Amazon, I got your back. Get the medical supplies, get it out to the people. I just want to make certain that we can wake people up and get them to realize that average is the way people live. So the average person, when something happens, what they do is they avoid it, they panic, they hide from what's going on, or they avoid just something else, and they avoid the subject at hand. If you're not where you want to be in your life right now, and you're not living the way that you really want to live, physically, financially, mentally, and emotionally, my question is, when are you going to do something about it? years and years and years and years ago, way before I became a full-fledged entrepreneur helping people with their lives, I had a period right before that I did this. I had a small job for a period of time. I was doing some consulting type work with a company in between me doing this. And in my heart, I wanted to do what I'm doing now, speaking, coaching, training, helping people make their lives better. I had good income coming on over here, and I said, I'll get to it later. It was the perfect time. I had money coming in. I could have went in the recording studio. I could have did what I did, and I could have made it happen, and I could have done it easier and more comfortable for myself. But what I did is I avoided. And when I say I avoided is I waited until I got to a point where things got bad, and then I had to change. And what's fascinating is this is what most people don't realize. Right now, you have the most amount of time that you've ever had in your life. I know you're busy working. We're commuting less. We're going on vacation less. We're traveling less. I believe that's you. We're doing that. We're doing that stuff less. You have less dinners and long meetings going on, and you have more time to focus on you and to do something that very high level people are doing right now. Because what's going on inside for people right now is they're being cheap. They're following along. Oh, I guess it's my time to be negative. Oh, I guess it's my time to worry. Oh, I guess it's my time to get into politics. Oh, I guess it's my time to be concerned. Oh, I guess it's my time to have fear. I don't think that's your time for that. Because really what it's your time for is the only people that I know that when they get that time by themselves, they make decisions, they make plans, and they decide to do something different. Once the world shifts again, travel comes back, dinner opens easier, you got less time, you're going to wish that you had this back. You won't wish for a pandemic. You won't wish for political unrest and nervous energy amongst people. You won't wish for that, but you're going to wish for your time back. So the question is, do we drug ourselves on Netflix? Do we drug ourselves on the media? Do you drug yourself on the news? Do you drug yourself on purpose hunting? I need purpose for my life. Or do you get the legitimate purpose of your life to have the full realization of who you are as a human being and what you're capable of and how you get an opportunity to bring that to the world so you can show the world, A, what you can do and be a shining light and example for others. There's never been a greater time for human beings to own the fact that the full realization of what you were put to do here on earth needs to show up. I would say our biggest problem right now in the world is nobody understands that purpose. The full realization of who you are as a human being has to show up in time. It doesn't have to happen immediately, but it has to show up. I've been waking people up for months during this. Again, if you haven't done call to action yet, I can't say it enough. I'm giving it away for free. FREE, no FEE. Go to the website, calltoactiontime.com, and join me. I'm doing it live, a chance to work with me. I'll kick your butt. I'll hold your hand. There's 1,000 people here watching this that'll tell you how wonderful it is. But I'm going to tell you, if you haven't done it yet, get in front of the people you care about. Get in front of them. Because the more people out there that have a legitimate, hardcore purpose for what they want to do with their time here on earth, the faster this is going to change. So strategic people right now are planning. And I got to ask you some very tough questions right now. I want you to imagine you're at one of my events and I called your ass out. I said, get off the phone, which is equivalent to get off of Netflix. I looked you in the eyes and said, I care about you. Stop hiding behind the person in front of you. I see you. I can see you. I can't physically see you through the screen, but I see you right now. And you're not living the way you want to live. It's okay. It's fine. What are we going to do about it? We need to plan past what's going on and ask yourself this question. Are you willing to get strategic with your life? Are you willing to realize that your current situation is something, and I talk about this in Average Sucks over and over again. If you don't have the book, get the book. It's right there, the website, averagesucks.com. You could be reading this in 5 minutes on Kindle or get this gorgeous version of the book that you can get as well. The point of this, why I'm bringing this up, and why it's urgent for you guys to understand is one of the things that I say in the book, I can't say enough to people, is that we live based on what our average and our automatic is in our lives, of what we do automatically. So my question for you is, if we're sitting there at an event and I look you in the eyes and say, what do you want for your life? What do you want for your life financially? What do you want to do with your current time? What kind of world do we want to create? What kind of environment do you want to create around you? I know we can't change the whole world. Please, come on, folks. You can't change the whole world. But imagine being able to change part of your community, starting with your household, starting today. If you were to plan and stop being a purpose hunter, what if you were to be a purpose builder? And I think about that for a second. You don't got to hunt for a purpose. You could build your purpose. The thing that you want to do for your life, you've got a chance to build it if it's something you want. So when we think what's going on inside of people's souls right now is people are really looking for leaders. They're looking for examples. And you might get mad. You might look out there and go, oh my God, I can't believe they're following them. I can't believe they're doing that. Well, that's the best option they got. What are you doing to be an alternative to them? They're being attractive. They're being excited. Before this whole thing occurred, I was going to put this whole Facebook ad together to just promote one of these shows, these Facebook Lives that I was doing. And I said, stop bitching at Instagram. Stop complaining at Facebook. Stop getting mad at Netflix or all these games kids are playing. Stop getting mad at them as parents. And the reason why you got to stop getting mad is, why would you get mad at them? You need to understand what they're doing. You know what they do? They got your kids' attention and you don't. Somebody's got the people you love's attention with the purpose they're offering. They're slinging purpose. Question is, are you slinging purpose? This is the question I got to ask for you. What is your purpose right now? What is it you really want to do? What's going on the inside of people right now? They're scared. They're worried. They're avoiding. They're hiding. They're following. All things you would never recommend to your kids. You don't send your kids off to school. So here's what you're going to do today. You're going to avoid the teacher. You're going to hide from things that scare you. You're going to panic and worry, and you are going to follow the wrong kid. You would never recommend that to your kid. It would not be a note in their lunchbox. But a note in a lunchbox would be is, what do you want for your life? And this starts by sitting down with our families, with our kids, the people we love in our teams, and starting to ask different questions. What do you want for your life? What do you want it to be? What's funny is we got time to build it right now. But Michael, I want to travel. I want to fly. You'll get back there eventually. But here's what's going to be really sad. When travel opens up and vacations open up in a big way again, and you didn't create the money that you needed to do it, you didn't create the space to do it, you're going to kick yourself in the head, and then you're going to be frustrated, avoiding and hiding of what's going on. So here's my challenge for all of you. If you're getting this right now, give me I'm getting this with a thumbs up, a heart, and give me an average sucks in that box. I want to see 20 to 30 hashtag average sucks to post in this box right now. I want to see that. And the biggest reason I want to see it is if I don't get 20 or 30, I just turn this thing off and I start talking about unicorns and llamas. I don't want to have to do that. I'm looking for some average suckses to post down below. Hashtag average sucks. And the reason why is it isn't a set of words. It's a battle cry. It's a statement. And most of us are living a very, very average life. So here's the thing. You know people and I know people. I also know is how well do you really know what's going on? Which one is going on for you? Which one are you dealing with? Are you really planning or are you really panicking? Are you really being strategic or are you really worrying? Are you really following yourself or are you following a plan that somebody sold you? Here's the chance as human beings that we need to step up to raise our average and get ourselves to grow into what it is that we want. So here's the other side of this coin. This is what's going on right now. I got to take it a step further because I want to be straight with you. When a human being holds on to fear for a long period of time, it deteriorates their nervous system. It changes them into a very fear-based panic person. When a person avoids something long enough, their unconscious mind sends them a program that basically says, you need to change. And it doesn't happen in a way that you want it to change. When human beings follow the wrong cause long enough, they beat themselves up, they get mad, they get upset, they get bothered of what's going on. And the other side of this coin isn't good. So as leaders, as anybody that would watch this right now, we've got to help people think and really figure out, can we get together with 2 or 3 people that we care about and plan what we want for our lives? I know we've been forced to physically distance, not forced, no one's been forced. We've been highly recommended, and damn, we did it. But my question is, are we willing to get together with a couple of people and own the facts? It's planning time. It's time to get strategic. It's time to figure out what we want for our lives. Because when it's over, and I want to say over, when it's different, when we're beyond, what do we do to get the things we want, to live the ways that we want to live, to make the things happen the way we want to make them happen? So I wanted to just share with you guys what happens on the inside. I also want to tell you there's a way to work on that, and there's a way to change. Sharing videos like this and letting people know it's okay. Which one is it? Maybe show somebody this video and share. Go, which one are you? Maybe you guys can post down below. You know, Michael, I've spent a lot of time in avoidance. You know, Michael, I've panicked a little bit. I've been hiding. I've been doubting. I've been worrying. I've been following. I've been noticing. Put it down below. Have a little courage. Share this with people. I also know those of you that have taken call to action recently, share it with somebody you care about. It's free. It's our gift back to the world to help people because, man, I don't know about you. I don't want to live in a world of avoiding, hiding, worried, nervous people following the wrong thing. I want a better quality of life for myself, my family, for you, and the world around us. And we're going to have to plan and we're going to have to build that. And the only way that we're going to get to build that is we need to make a decision now that that's super necessary, that that's something you want, and it's something that you really want to see. So I'm going to just challenge all of you to do yourselves a favor. Share this video. Share calltoactiontime.com with as many people as you can. And also ask yourself this really tough question. What do you want for your life? And the next question is, how do you get it? What do you need to do next? These are different questions. I think the joke a lot of people have is they keep on saying things like, Michael, do you have all the answers? Do you know what happens next? Do you know what we need to do? I don't have any answers, but I do understand one very simple thing. There is a world full of people right now that 100% know their life is messed up and it's not what they want and it's not working right for them. It's like 95% of the world. Prior to this, it was still 95% of the world, but it's obvious now. And now that it's obvious, and now that it's brought to the forefront, how many people do we get to be honest about that and do something with it to create the changes they need to create? So if this is resonating with you and you're liking it and it's making sense, put a comment down below. I'm getting it. It's making sense. I'm seeing it. Share it, post, and I'm going to leave you with a final thought to think about. Is as human beings, it's very easy to avoid all of these things that I just said. If you made it to this point, there's hundreds of you watching this right now in all the different groups we're in. And if you haven't joined the Average Sucks community, my team will post that down below in all the different groups. Join the Average Sucks community. You definitely want to do that. And here's the challenge. If I told you this was happening, and there's a world full of people where 95% of them have accepted, or not accepted. No, they are not where they want to be. And you and I are living in a world where we know that that's the case. What is your response to the reality of what's going on of your fellow men, women, people on this earth? Well, the same list I wrote down earlier of avoiding, being scared by what I just said, hiding from the fact that it's going on, looking for a different purpose other than the biggest one in the world of how do we get human beings to accept the reality that they're not where they want to be, that they can get what they want, they're totally capable. Well, the biggest answer I can give you is if you're going to do those same 5 or 6 things when I tell you this, well, then you're doing nothing different than what they're doing. So my challenge for you is to wake up right now. And we don't have to wake up to that there's some conspiracy going on. We have to wake up to the reality. And here's what the reality of the situation is. There's a large group of human beings that are not living the life the way they wanted to, and they don't know what to do. They have no idea. You may not have the answers. We have a lot of them. You may not be able to help. Bring them to us. We can do the help. I've been doing this for 17 years. Let me help, or someone else help them make that a reality. Calltoactiontime.com. It's a step in the right direction. We want to help people grow, and start thinking in plan and strategic mode. When human beings can think in plan and strategic mode, then life starts getting fun. It starts getting easy. People start doing more and helping out and making things happen in a way they want to make them happen. So you got to ask yourself a question. You're going to focus on you. You're going to take care of you and your family. Sure, you need to do that. Go be selfish. Take care of them. Nothing's wrong with that. You got to do that. Option two, you're going to help a few people out, make a difference in their lives. If everybody took responsibility for 2 or 3 people outside their family that really wanted to help, we can navigate a very, very different world than the one we're in. So this is exciting. This is empowering if we allow it to be. It's got the chance to be uplifting if you see it. But I'm also going to tell you, very few people are being strategic right now. And that's the thing I want you to see down below is, are you open to strategizing? Strategizing is the secret weapon that gets you through this. Strategies build problems. Strategies solve problems. So how do you get strategic? It's a very simple formula. Are you where you want to be? And if the answer is no, accept it. It's fine. Next question, where do you want to be? And the last question is, what area of your life do you need to grow? Pick an area for the next month that you're willing to work on. Think about some area you want to grow. Your communication, the people around you, your life, your happiness. What is it you need to grow that if you grew it, it would make a big observation, a big difference for you. So I want to thank you guys. I want to just tell you a couple things that are going on. One is definitely join us for Call to Action. Definitely share the book, share the stuff we got. If you're part of this community, I want to thank you for being part of what we have going on. I couldn't ask for greater human beings to be in this battle or this challenge with than you. I want to say thank you to you. Send me a heart, send me a love, and you can send me a heart. I'd rather you send me a share and send me to somebody you care about. Together, let's do it. Say, hey, buddies, listen to this. It matters. It's important. And I'm excited to put this out in front of you. And also, if you want things to be different, you spend a couple hours with me next month working on Call to Action. 5 days, kick your butt, hold your hand, help you get where you want to go. It's one of the most exciting things we can do together. I wouldn't even call it Call to Action. I'd call it strategically planning the life that you've always wanted collectively with a group of people. All that's required is a phone and a little bit of your time, and we get a chance to do it together. So I want to thank you guys for being here. I want you to realize what's going on inside people's heads, what's going on inside people's minds. It's not okay. It's not okay to sit back anymore and wait. We can't wait anymore. These things are occurring. We have to give people an alternative. Oh, Bobby, he's on Netflix all the time because you didn't send him this video. Oh, my Johnny, he's playing video games all the time because you didn't put this book or some other book in front of them. Oh, man, my buddy's negative all the time because he has no purpose. Get him a purpose. Stop pointing fingers. Be part of the solution. And this is where we change the world together. Average sucks. It always will. It's not about being better than others. It's about destroying the way you do things currently to start getting the life you've always wanted. Share this. Comment. If you're watching this afterwards, share it. Comment. I love all of you. Take care. Live an incredible weekend. And here's your homework for all weekend. Build your purpose. Start planning. Build the life you want. You don't get it immediately. Building means building. It doesn't mean completing. Get the life you want. Build, 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 and be the example that somebody can follow. Enough said. Average sucks.